Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name's Tim and this is Tim the Trailman, and today I have an update for you on Baja Design and their response to my YouTube short that I made a couple days ago. Just for clarification, they didn't respond after I made the short. I've been in communication with them the whole time. This is actually an update for you. Okay, quick recap. If you didn't see the YouTube short, this is two Onyx 6 10-inch light bars. The passenger side has moisture, the driver's side doesn't. It was about a month when I first noticed it. And then of course I was gonna be upset because this is a $450 light bar per side. So if I wanted moisture in the light bar, I could have paid no extra and bought lights from Amazon. So to my surprise, I didn't think I'd be dealing with this soon. Okay, so the first thing that I did was go ahead and leave the light bar on for 10 to 15 minutes to see if the heat from the light would dry out the moisture. It's kind of crazy that the moisture won't dry out. It got in there, but it won't get out. You can explain to me the physics later. The second thing that I did is I called 4 Wheel Parts in Atlanta. They're the vendor that sold it to me. Not that they caused it or anything, but I just figured, hey, what can you do to help me? They were very helpful over the phone. I talked to them. They said your best chance is calling Baja Design. They have a lifetime warranty on their light bars or their lights in general. So go ahead and give them a call directly. So that's what I did. I found the number on their website and I called them. I spoke with a gentleman named Brian. I want to give a huge shout out to him because the entire time I've been working with him, he's been nothing but helpful, asked the right questions, and never blamed me for getting water in my light bar. More on that later. So Brian gave me 3 options. The first one was I could wait 5 to 6 weeks and get a brand new Onyx 6 10-inch light bar for my vehicle. The reason why it has to take 4 to 5 weeks is they don't have housings for the 10-inch light bar. They've got chips, they got LEDs, they got lenses, they've got all that, but not the physical housing. He would give me a brand new one, send me a return shipping label, and I would just send this one back and be done with it. But I didn't really want to wait 4 to 5 weeks. Second option that he provided me with was I could remove this one from the 4Runner, send it to California. They would prioritize the repair in front of production, fix it, test it, send it back to me. I didn't like that option for obvious reasons. One, I would need to disassemble the 4Runner, take the light out, ship it, wait for it to go out there, a couple days there, a couple days repair, a couple days back. I'd be without a light bar for 1 week, maybe 2 weeks, depending on my schedule. Who drives around with one light bar? Nobody does that. The other reason why I don't like that is that I would have to disassemble the 4Runner, put the 4Runner back together so my wife could drive it, then disassemble it again, and then put it back. I felt like that was just way too much work for a light bar to get fixed. So the third option that Brian offered me was, hey, disassemble it, see if you see anything, if you see a hair, a crumb, a scratch, a cut, whatever in the sealing surface between the faceplate and the housing, go ahead and clean that. And then if that's something that's the problem, we'll give you an O-ring kit. I asked Brian would he be against sending me an O-ring kit, so that way once I disassemble it, I can just go back with new stuff no matter what I find. He thought that was a great idea. Okay, so this is where we're at now. He went ahead and sent me Baja Design's lens. I didn't know when he was asking me questions if I needed an amber lens, a clear lens, a driving combo, or a spot combo. It makes sense now. The lens holds the gasket in it. Plus there's 2 separate gaskets. I'm not sure where these go, but we'll figure that out later. He sent this 2-day priority mail to me to get to me as quickly as possible. And this is where we're at. On a quick side note, if you're curious of how I stuffed 2 10-inch Onyx 6 light bars in there, go to my channel, check out that video. I'll show you how I fabricated a mount. Some people mistaken this for an S8, and there's plenty of companies that make mounts for that. This is a little bit different. They're much deeper, they're taller, they're obviously brighter, and so I don't know anyone else that has this stuffed in there. If you see others, they may be the S8, they may be the Onyx 6, but I think it's super cool to be a little bit different. And of course, I don't care about airflow. So let's go ahead and disassemble the 4Runner, take the light out, take it over to my toolbox, and see what we find. Ta-da! Okay, so we got the light out. At the moment, you can see that there's like a little gap there. Probably won't show up on camera. Little gap there, but that's probably what that O-ring's supposed to do. So the front plate is a 2.5 millimeter. So let me go ahead and take those out. Okay, so we're gonna take that off now and see what we can see. This part here is dry. That's not where the gasket is, of course. This is where the lens sits. So let's see if I can pop this out. So let's inspect it to see maybe something there. I mean, it could be the smallest of cracks. Like there's like a little dust. I'm not really seeing anything right here. Let's see if there's a spot. Now the water went back there. I'm gonna get my air compressor and blow that dry a little bit. It looks like the square O-rings might be for the side housings. So I'm not gonna take those apart. That seems like a little bit more effort than I wanna spend on it. So this will also help me eliminate if it's this area. If it still comes in, then I can still put those O-rings. I think that these go on the side just from the shape of it. But let me go ahead and blow this dry off camera, and then I'll clean it, and then we'll put it back together. Okay, so got that blown dry. When I tilted it up actually off camera to blow in one direction, quite a bit of water. I was quite surprised how much water came out. I definitely thought it was just moisture on the lens, but it did seem to be accumulating water back there. So what I'm gonna do now is use a little bit of diluted glass cleaner just to make sure that this area is as clean as possible. I have been off-roading with the light bar, so a little dirt in there definitely could have gotten in there when I was cleaning, so I just want to dry that up. I did want to mention, some people I talked to said to put a little RTV around the gasket area where the assembly was, but when I talked to Brian at Baja, he said this is a dry seal, no need for it. So I'm gonna give it a shot this direction first and then update with my findings. He did also tell me that with the light bar, it can go underwater, it can be submerged. They're built for the hardest and the harshest environments. So feel free to dip that thing in a bucket of water, hit it with a pressure washer, do whatever I need to do after I put it back together to see if it was actually fixed, which I thought was really cool because, you know, as a whole, talking to friends and stuff, maybe somebody might be like, Tim, you're not supposed to hit it with a pressure washer, or you're not supposed to go through water puddles or whatever. But Brian did not seem to care that I was doing that. Well, I didn't look at this before, but I just opened it up and there's a big old scratch. I'll call Brian. I'm gonna put this back on. I had no idea. This has been in my house for about a week now before I could make this video. But I don't know if that's showing up on camera or not, but there's a big old scratch against that lens. So brand new, straight from Baja. Mistakes happen. I'm gonna call them today and let them know. But my main thing is get this on and keep water out of here. So let me get going on that. The screws did come with some micro encapsulated, like a little Loctite on there. I'm gonna go back with it. Obviously I need to replace that lens again because that one's scratched. So I'm not gonna put it on there. They use like a light color yellow, you know, maybe a little dab of blue would do you. Definitely not put red. The design of the light is so that you could interchange these from amber to clear, from spot to combo. So I wouldn't put that much Loctite on it as a whole. He also didn't give me a tightening down pattern, so I'm just gonna start these here, and then I'm going to start from the center out, kind of like a cylinder head gasket. But I'm just gonna go ahead and start these so all the holes line up first, and then work my way in from the inside out. And then just a final snug. Okay, so that's the moisture in the lens there. That's the brand new one that's dry. Got a scratch. We'll deal with it and call Brian later. Now time to put it back in the 4Runner. All right, I got it back installed with the new lens. I turned them on. It doesn't show up good on camera, of course, because the light, the strobing, the refresh rate of the camera and everything. But I noticed that it was like a little hazy. Like maybe I could have cleaned it up a little bit. Not super thrilled with how it came out, but I know I can quickly disassemble it again, clean it, things like that. At the moment, I'm gonna be mostly concerned about if moisture gets back in there or not, and then reaching out to Brian at Baja Design. The scratch on the lens, I'm gonna live with that as well until the moisture gets in there. Real quick, I wanna give a shout out to my patrons. Thank you for your support. It means a lot to me and the channel. And if you'd like to be a patron too, please head on over to patreon.com/Tim the Trailman. Okay, so that about wraps up the video. Thank you so much to Baja Design for making awesome products. Of course, there's gonna be a certain percentage of failure rate. Brian has been awesome with the customer service. I look forward to talking to him more with any other concerns or products or things like that. Let me know in the comments what your experience has been with lights. If you've had cheap lights, expensive lights, have they broken? Do they fill with water? What do you do to get out of it? And everything like that. So if you want to see more content like this, hit that subscribe button, and thank you for watching.